Rancor's Brothel presents The Big Sleep. A Cthulhu Mythos 5e adventure.
You guys have a plan.
He has a plan.
I promoted a plan, but if you tell the audience the plan, we have to go through with the plan. Otherwise, we look like rubes.
You can have multiple plans.
Plans
we only
within.
need one good plan.
Yeah, one good plan is all you need.
Well, you were given some benefits and possible negatives of how you might have presented yourself.
Wait, what are we supposed to do again? It's been like 3 months.
It's been like less than a month.
It was just last week, Flynn.
Oh my god.
Last time on Brothel D&D.
You guys are attending a ball
Yep.
that the king is putting on in order to investigate the nobles, the higher-ups, to see who may or may not be masking themselves.
The Bokrug cult, remember, that
Yes.
we found in the basement that led to the underside of the king, and we immediately wanted to interrogate everyone in the castle and murder their balls if we thought that they were evil. And then he decided, no, I really like the concept of potential regicide, so let's get everybody together in a massive ballroom so we don't know who's who,
Yeah.
and you have to guess and play social deduction with a fucking cat, merman, living ghoul, and a crazy artificer, because social roles is what we do.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we're doing.
That makes
I-
sense.
I haven't lost all of my sanity yet.
The crazy adjective was not for the character.
A couple of you also read books that may or may not have fucked with your sand. I believe it was just the ghoul, though.
I have
I
no
was helping
retort to that, Cody. I have no retort.
Because it's
And why does the king believe that it's a noble and not someone inside the house?
Many of these people live in the castle. Some of them don't. He wants to get everyone here because basically, with the information you gave him, that it is a vast array of caverns underneath the city, leading to multiple places. It could be nobles outside of the castle as well that live in these areas.
Okay.
That could be possibly connected.
trying to remember where I put my character sheet. Oh, this is 5th ed, that's why. I'm clicking in the wrong set of rules.
Different Cthulhu.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking in the wrong set of Cthulhu rules.
So you were given a guest list that I believe Troy wrote down.
We're level 3, right? Okay. Just making sure my characters stayed up to date.
I wish we were higher.
So you know who is being invited. The guest of honor is the Lord Mayor, Victor von Hradavaz, for whom the
Belt holes?
city is named after.
The mayor, not the king?
Yeah, the family Hradavaz is the city is named after.
Interesting.
This is clear. Sandy wrote this, right?
Co-wrote it.
Okay. Clearly there's a whole British monarchy thing going on here. Maybe we should dig into it, maybe not.
Maybe we should just blow up the
maybe
whole
the
castle and leave.
I'm not opposed.
I mean, I can make black powder now.
I know it's in the outro, but I don't remember who the other gentleman that co-wrote with was. Jonah Baumgars. Never heard of Jonah.
And as you know, give Artificer enough time and resources and they can make anything.
Explosives.
Always a good go-to.
So you guys spent some time leveling up. We already talked about that last episode. And then you did some shopping.
Sandy Petersen has 4 names. Did not know that until I just Googled the man.
Interesting.
Carl Sanford Joslin Petersen.
Damn.
Jocelyn.
Yeah, Joslin.
So you guys do you want to go with the plan? You haven't even talked about the plan, but do you want not out loud on mic? Do you want to go with the plan?
I haven't heard a better one yet.
I mean,
I sent it out last night in case anyone had a different plan or wanted to comment on
Would
it.
you like to tell the people at home what your plan is? Then?
Not unless we know that it's the plan.
I don't know.
Can we call it to a vote?
If we stick with the plan, then we at least know a starting point for when it falls apart.
Blame Grady.
Oh, okay, that's your plan.
Yes.
He is just a barbarian.
So, and I quote the message that I sent these gentlemen approximately 24 hours ago in terms of recording. So spend some time thinking about our next session and what we should do. Here's what I've come up with. Troy should dress up as a distant noble dignitary for the event. Archduke Fern and Sand from the Salt Deep Realms. He can play hoity-toity dress-up with King and Co., complaining about illegal fishing and trying to suss out the guilty amongst the bourgeoisie. I will play Greaves, the Archduke's bodyguard / advisor / servant / concubine. My surly attitude and general smell should keep people away from me, but I will still be close enough to prevent the obvious regicide that we all see coming. Alex will be part of the waitstaff. Gerald Cobblewobble, a slightly dim-witted and clumsy nephew of a cousin to the king's favorite aunt. Important enough to be in an executive role on the catering at the party, but mingle with the scullery as well. By bumbling through all sections of the castle, he can serve as our MacGyver, posing as Mr. Magoo. I expect secret explosives, cool tools, and magic hidden in odd yet convenient places. Flynn will be the shadow in the dark, lying in wait and gathering intel inconspicuously, or by posing occasionally as a royal mouser. He can then surreptitiously provide key info to any of us at any time. Each of us should have a convenient pouch sewn into our garments, by which Flynn can approach and easily jump inside. That way he can spring out at key moments in a flurry of fur and claws. I also want to be able to yeet that damn cat in a feline fastball special. I then sent a gif of Danny Ocean, to which Flynn said, "You son of a bitch, I'm in." So that's basically all the planning we've done in 3 months.
Good plan.
Hell yeah.
It's a big hat. It's fun.
I vote for the plan.
It's actually only been 1 month since we played.
They don't know that. It's been 87 years.
It's still 2020.
Time is relative.
Things haven't gotten that much better.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, that's why it's like it's still 2020.
You mean we're stuck together down here?
Your the three options that you were given, if this sways either of you, you can continue your investigation openly, like as you have been, by right of power granted to you by the king, deputized as arbiters of the faith, which grants you total freedom of movement and no cover story to maintain, but guilty parties may be more defensive and secretive around you. Assume false identities as visiting nobles or other official guests of King Atrax. In which case, you are told that you can actually keep a guest room, and he will assign palace servants and guards who are tight-lipped, but you must be able to glean information from folk of higher station. Or you go undercover as palace guards and servants, in which case you get put in the barracks instead of an actual guest room or the dormitories. And with this cover, you might be more restricted on movement as well as equipment you may be able to carry.
So we're doing both of those.
We're doing like all of these.
So you're doing
Basically.
B and C and part kind of A, but not
We're
C.
splitting the party.
We also have the ability to go, bam, arbiter.
So it sounds like you're doing less of A and more of B and C.
Troy, I would also like you to seduce anyone we think is clearly a cultist.
Deal.
I mean, once they go gills, they never go back, Troy.
Big old fish stick.
Don't know that that's a saying.
Can't you do multiple arms?
No.
Oh, is that not your thing?
No. That was the other...
Oh. I feel like that could be very beneficial at sexy times. Like, just having 6 hands,
Then you be the sexy multiple morphing fish person.
I'm already...
You jerk off so many cultists for information.
I'm already clearly the sex magnet of this party.
Right.
I mean, it's true, and that's so sad.
I'm competing against Fishman, a cat, and a Dragonborn. Maybe I have competition against the Dragonborn.
It's not something I thought I would ever put in my Pornhub search with green candlelit bukkake. Just multiple arms on all the cultists.
Somebody's Rule 34'd it already.
Oh, yeah.
Does anyone have any questions about the guest list before we move forward? Which I think Troy has the guest list written down, at least. I don't know if...
I have names. Who's the most shady?
Always a legitimate question.
Who has the most to gain?
I mean, at this point, you're talking to the king.
the most
Like
shady
the king
person
will,
of them
like
all?
you can ask the king anything you want about these people, and he will do his best to answer these questions.
I will meow at the fishman to ask the king what suspicions he currently has.
Dude didn't know that there were cultists in his fucking basement. He gonna be useless except to die.
It's
How
all
many of the nobles?
it's all suspicion. He doesn't really have the evidence. That's what you're here for.
Yeah, but a hunch sometimes means something.
I mean,
Do any of your nobles have like black pencil thin mustaches that they twirl when you're not looking?
There might have been a picture of a guy with a pencil mustache in here.
That's him.
Like, yeah, that
Get
guy.
him.
That's suspect.
Oh no,
number
he's
one.
clean shaven. He's just
It's
fat.
on site.
Is he bald?
Yep,
He's a bald fat guy.
Yep.
he's a bald fat guy.
I've seen the Maltese Falcon. He's the bad guy.
And I think
he
that's
look
just
like
a picture of a guard.
Telesaurus?
Or what's
Palace
the other guy-
guards
what's
look
the
kind
other-
of cool though.
What's the other guy's
Those
name?
are dope.
Yeah.
Is it Huel Bremer? Is he bald?
Yes, Steel Burmer's bald.
Also a bad guy.
All right, we
You know
start
what's
killing all bald
This
people.
guy's last name Buell, B-U-H-L, Buell.
I'm He's a bad guy.
That's the steward.
Anyone with a limp, take him out.
Take him out.
Yep. Anyone with excessive open cleavage.
Nah, let them stay.
Well, we're gonna seduce them and then kill them.
Oh, that's dark.
You Ed Kemper, Jesus Christ.
No. I'm a fighter for justice, an arbiter.
Does anybody
Called the honeypot.
Does anybody know the story of Ed Kemper? Yeah. Anyway,
Wild.
Troy, you're looking intently at your notebook. Do you have any questions?
I'm just waiting for us to play the game.
I'm asking you in game if you have any questions about these people. I will do my best.
Fishman. Do you have any questions?
Give you what the king can give you.
You got to do voices.
I tried to ask a question and I got shut down. So
I didn't shoot you down.
no, he did.
Everybody kept talking.
I don't know what your question was.
Who are you suspicious of, King?
Yeah, and like I said, the king, he will respond like, everyone is suspicious. We're all politicians, and you are the investigators. You know more than I do at this point. You guys have given me information, but I don't know everything.
You're like the least kingly king I've ever heard of.
This guy was sitting in a bar when you met him.
Fair point. How does one become king of this land?
Killed the last one.
Yeah.
It's a good question. It's not in the book, I couldn't tell you.
Right of combat. Rage.
It doesn't seem to be through blood, since the guy whose last name is the name of the city is not king. He is Lord Mayor, though.
King's just a figurehead.
Kind of like England. Weird that.
Okay. So what are we doing exactly?
The plan, as soon as we can move on with it.
All right.
All right.
As time continues throughout the day, you begin to see nobles and dignitaries walk into the front door.
We're acquiring particular accoutrements, and we are customizing ourselves to the layout of the manor and different
Yes.
places, because Flynn's going to need to scout, and you're going to need to scout, and we're going to need to start understanding who the players are, so we know that, Mrs. Boofer Lady is whatever, you know what I mean? Like, we got to get all that sorted.
Boofer lady?
The Boofer Lady?
No.
It's a Dracula reference. It's what's her face? Not Mina
Mina?
Harker, the other one.
Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy Westerna. When she gets, she starts tricking kids into the graveyard, and I think they call her the Boofer Lady, Boffer.
It's been a minute since I read that one.
Isn't boofing drinking beer through your butt?
I hope not.
That sounds terrible.
Maybe you could call her the Boffer Lady. I always just assumed that it was the Boofer Lady.
pretty sure that's
That
Is
might
it
be,
two-
that might be a more modern term, but boofer means something over across the pond.
Yeah.
I think it's still
Yeah.
butt related.
Depends on if it's 2 O's or 2 F's.
So, Troy and Troy, you're becoming a noble,
Yes.
and you are becoming his bodyguard.
/ servant / butler / concubine.
Certainly. You're a cat.
I'm a cat.
You're kind of just wandering around. In fairness,
You're playing the role of
Cat.
cat.
yeah.
I can do this. I can do this. I can do
Just
this.
imagine everywhere you prance.
And what are you doing?
Service staff.
Servant staff.
Service staff.
But he's executive level.
Are you
Like head-
particular to the kitchens, to the cellar, cleaning?
Everywhere. They can't. There's no door that can stop me. I've got thieves' tools and high decks.
The king kind of thinks about it and says, I'll put you with...
Oh, now he's shoehorning me.
Wow.
Hey, he can. The DM starts by shoehorning you. A lockpick and an explosive goes a long way to getting through any gates that he puts up.
I
I
can put
also
you
happen
with
to have a
Sylvie.
pistol.
I can put you with Sylvie, our chief housekeeper. She will be wandering the home, cleaning messes, ensuring people are have what they need. She's less of a servant, more of a helper.
Odd question. How old is this individual?
Sylvie?
Has she been in service a long time?
Yes, she is graying. Like, she is probably over 40, close to mid 50s, probably.
And yet fit enough to be in charge.
Shut up.
Most executive positions are older people.
Good to know.
She is a half elf.
So, she's still young? I've always been kind of confused about that one.
Oh
with
yeah, no.
half-elves.
If she's 40 and she's a half elf, she's probably still incredibly young and good looking.
Yeah.
Like mid-20s for most
Yeah.
human species. Got it.
She's
We
been
can probably
working.
make some comparisons.
She's worked for many kings.
She's Heidi Klum.
Got it. Let's run with
Brooke
it.
Burke, maybe.
Hey, I'm going to be working very closely with this individual. I
Heidi
need a
Heidi
picture.
Klum's aged better than Brooke Burke.
But it's a half elf. What does that matter?
We all remember watching Wild on the E channel at 11:30 at night, right?
The hell?
Except for you. You didn't have cable, apparently.
I didn't stay up very late, except to play D&D.
Fair enough.
That is a fair point.
It was like
What
it
were
was
you doing in high school at 11 o'clock on a Friday?
Howard
DD.
Stern at 11, and then Wild on at 11:30, and then other like,
Heidi Klum had a late night spicy show, didn't she?
well, I don't know.
I think so.
I'm just going to run with
it
it.
was just like it was like a travel show, but it was kind of a spicy travel show. Yeah. E channel.
Not quite softcore porn, but
No,
pushing
it was no
cable.
nudity. Everything was, if there was, it was blurred because it was still television. But like 2 channels up was like the Scramble channel, the Playboy channel that you couldn't actually see, but you could hear. So yes, he will put you with Sylvie, and you can work with her.
I'm perfectly fine being under Sylvie.
I hope that was on purpose.
And,
Is it most things I say?
Sometimes I don't know. I haven't played with you long enough, but I'm starting to think that it is.
Listen to some of the other stuff he's edited from me.
As time goes on, you'd see more and more guests coming in. This is a masquerade ball. People are wearing masks.
You didn't tell us that before, and I fucking knew it. Because of course,
Not everyone,
there's
but
gonna be a fucking shooter, Flynn. I hope you know that you're on the goddamn.
I got it.
Yeah, in the gallery.
not everyone, but most people are wearing masks. And around dusk, you see the doors pop open. There's a couple of guards behind an individual wearing a bright gold mask, a very nice cardinal red robe. And from under the mask, you see this very long, sort of pointed beard, very strange bob cut, like you do back in the day. and he is presented as Lord Mayor Victor von Radavaz, the guest of honor, has entered the main hall. So I drew out very rapidly the area. It's not to scale because there's not enough room on here. But I wanted you to get an idea of like that's the main hall, this square room. There are all kinds of other hallways and areas that you've never been inside of, which is why I didn't detail the map. There are, you know that to my right, there is sort of more servants and bunkers for guards. To my left is more where low nobles and Captain Rayhack reside. There's also a chapel over here. The kitchens are to my north, and right here to my south is the front door. So that main hall is literally in the very center of the palace on this floor.
Continuing to cast this, are you saying that the Lord Mayor looks like Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon? Sort of what I got when you started describing it.
Sort of. It's more biker beard.
When you started describing him, I was thinking Cardinal Tim Curry from
That would be a great casting. It's a hell of a get.
The Three Musketeers.
You don't have the budget for Tim Curry.
You don't know me.
Well, these days.
But the way you just described his outfit and everything, it's just basically I'm thinking Cardinal Tim Curry with a golden mask on.
Let's get AI in here. We'll make it work.
I actually bought an original stage soundtrack to Rocky Horror. It sounds so good.
How big is the main
Tim Curry's
hall?
on. How big is the what?
Main hall.
I think it said manhole, and I was like, wait a minute.
How big is your manhole?
Happy.
Always a
It's
valid
about a 40 by
question.
40 area
Okay.
with a double door here at the bottom on my side.
So is the side closest to you like the entry hall or whatever?
Yeah, this is the entrance to the building. The main hall is through this double door. There are also double doors.
So is the main hall like where the party is supposed to take place?
Yes, that is where the party is supposed to take place.
So it's only a 40 by 40 space?
40 by 40 space. And there are also up to 8 guards at a time, either patrolling or standing guard around this floor of the palace. The back there off of the main hall, there are doors into a smaller room, and then beyond that room is where the kitchens are at. I can't reach it, I'm sorry. This little scratchy thing I drew back here are actually the stairs to the cellar that you guys would have walked up into the kitchens before coming out.
Do they have guards on the cellar door, the secret door? Making sure no one's
on
coming
the
in?
cellar itself? Probably not, but there would be guards in the back of the main hall.
Well, could someone ask the king to put at least a guard down on the secret door?
Or at least a very
If
large
that's what you
rock.
want.
I grabbed 2 guards by the throat.
Okay.
As you
Probably
do.
not going to help.
Put a large piece of furniture on it, something to block up that hole.
You do have to figure out how to present yourself as a somewhat normal person for now.
I don't have to, Lucas.
It's going to help.
You don't know him. He can be whatever he wants to be.
That's not what I'm trying to go for here. I want tall, dark, and incredibly scary, which I feel like I pull off. 40 by 40 is not big. How many guests are coming to this fucking thing?
6.
I gave you a list of...
You didn't give me a list of a lot of people, but I
Yeah,
assume
it
that-
wasn't very many.
Is this like a Clue situation where we just are like, hey, Mrs. White.
I gave you a
Mr.
list of
Plum.
roughly 15 notable names, but there are upwards of 40 to 50 people total.
So there are 40 to 50 people partying in a 40 by 40 space.
You might need to scale that up a little
That
bit.
scene from the second Matrix movie. Everybody's partying. It's all sweaty.
We have gone to a medieval rave.
One more time.
So the idea of this entire chapter is that there are multiple rooms to look into, as well as investigate with people.
that's
So
the thing.
it's an investigation / dungeon crawl,
The thing is that
sort of.
what I'm waiting for Luke to say is that they're not all in there, and that we're gonna have to fucking wander around this like goddamn masquerade party, and you're gonna find fucking one dude over here sleeping with some other guy's wife, and you're gonna like. My character just wants to start just hurting people.
Do it.
Is there a balcony over the main hall, or is it simply a one-story room?
It's a tall room, but there is no balcony overlooking.
There is no vantage point.
From the top, no. But you're looking at 25-foot ceiling. Like, it's massive.
Are there tapestries on the wall?
Of course.
Tapestries?
Leading to the ceiling? All the way up?
Not all the way up.
But a good away?
Probably about halfway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to
10
climb one
to
of the
15
tapestries.
Okay. I
Just
mean,
perch up there for a bit.
servants looking at you. Get down, get down.
I lick my ass at him.
Fucking cats.
How big is your manhole?
Not big enough.
Who loves kitty?
You do have a bag
So
holding.
no, you got a
though.
vantage point. You can look up. I don't have a problem with that. And over time, many of the people are presented, and the party has begun. You have, what is his name? Jurgen Gilman, the royal musician, has struck up the band. Many servants are coming through the kitchens, bringing out wine and ciders and ales. And everyone is mingling and having an interesting time.
What other rooms is the party expected to spill to?
Something you'll have to learn over time.
God damn it, Lucas.
Sylvie, where's a dark place that people can congregate? Can you show me? Lead me to it.
I mean, as of right now, you and Sylvie is kind of showing you how to help clean up some of the mess here in the kitchen.
We know the kitchen's back here. What?
Correct.
Is this a hallway?
It appears to be. See, because it's unnumbered, it's not actually that important. It is literally I almost want to say it's like a servant's quarters, 3-seated table. When you walk through, there's a door on either side of it. There is a 5, 10, 15, 20-foot long table up against the wall closest to me.
It's a serving table. Have you never worked catering before?
With chairs where people can sit and eat.
That's interesting.
Yes.
What's this area? This U shape around.
Oh, that is the main hall. The square in the middle is like a giant carpet, and then it's stone around it. Sorry, that's the way it's drawn in here.
So this is all.
Yes, that whole area is the main hall.
That's not actually a room. That is sequestered with one door, which is what I was seeing.
Yeah.
Correct. One door at the south, 2 doors to the north, leading into this small area, and then into the kitchen.
What is the distinction between the small servant area and the larger room? Is there a door, a curtain?
Yeah, this. I wish I had what you had in your hand. There's a door here, just like there's a door here. And then it just goes into this area.
There's a couple of double doors.
And there's a door on either side of these.
Going from the kitchen to like a servant staging area, and then it goes into the room proper.
Correct.
The chairs are probably there in case they have to do any prep work beforehand, so that probably slides under the table so they can move the food. So it's probably exactly what Cody said.
If you were to walk around there, you would probably see that there are trays that do have hors d'oeuvres and finger foods and drinks that are being prepped to be brought into the main hall. Yes.
From the main hall, we only go out to the foyer, or we go back into the prep station. There are no doors left and right.
No doors left and right in the main hall. There is a door left and right inside of that smaller area. I don't want to draw all the doors, but that's from where you're at.
Just erase the solid lines. I feel like that would function usefully.
It's not dry erase. It's not as easy as it looks. I tried wiping that one with my finger and it just smeared. So,
okay, cool. Who you want to talk to first, Troy? Archduke Fern and Sand. I was trying to think of a good seaweed joke. I wanted something and sand, but I also wanted to suggest vaguely that Troy's going to get shot. So,
what's the name you were using again? Archduke Fern and Sand from where?
From the Salt Deep realms. The marshes.
As the king would, he would immediately walk to the Lord Mayor, as the Lord Mayor would come in, thank him for coming, and obviously introduce him around to anyone he's not quite met, and the Archduke would be one of them. He says, yes, the Archduke
Fernand Sand already, have we?
You've never met the mayor?
Oh, not the mayor, no.
Okay, I'm just curious. Be like, you're that asshole that started that bar fight.
Lord Mayor Victor von Radabaz. And he sort of just puts his hands behind his back and gives you a curt nod. Does not shake your hand.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Indeed.
You said Lord Mayor?
Lord Mayor.
So would the proper way to address him be Lord or Lord Mayor?
Lord Mayor is his full title.
Okay. Would you like to piss him off or not piss him off?
It's early.
To be decided.
And he would begin speaking to you about the economy and what is it you do from where you're from? What is your economic specialty?
Import, export.
Yes, of course. Much like every city, what is it you import and export?
Goods and services.
particularly export. Perhaps there's something that could help our fair city.
Seafood.
Seafood. He kind of just looks over to the king and says, seafood. Excellent.
Best cod you'll ever taste.
He kind of stifles a chuckle and says, is there cod on the menu? And the king kind of stiffens up and says, yes, it came from, what is it called? The Salt something? Sorry, Lucas is forgetting.
Salt Deep
Salt
Realms.
Deep. Yes, it's the Salt Deep Realms. Yes, that's we imported it directly for this party.
Salt deep cod.
And the
Best
Lord Mayor
cod
just sort of gives you a nod and whispers something into the king's ear and then takes his leave. He's a very busy man.
See you later.
Lucas, I would like to post up in the back corner here, somewhere along this wall, and I'm looking for anyone that goes out into the foyer, or anyone that's not a servant that goes into the servants area.
Okay. I mean, at least as of now, as the party is getting on,
just once a character leaves, then I want to interact.
Absolutely.
But until then,
there is a lot of activity of servants. The servants are going in and out, in and out, in and out, bringing in food, bringing in drinks. People are laughing. They're having a good time.
This is when you
music
start
is
planting
lively.
all your bombs. Start sticking it to people as you are passing out cocktail weenies.
Are you using a fake name?
I specified one for you, but you do you, man. We don't have to follow this plan at all. I just thought it was fucking funny, and so I wrote it after work because it amused me.
Is Magnus a weird enough name?
I think we'll just go with the normal sounding name of Martin.
Martin.
Martin the butler.
Sylvie looks to you at some point and says, we need to make a round, ensure that there is no one walking around the halls. And she will lead you into this area and then out to, I'm going to call this west. So west.
There's your point.
And basically what you're doing is you're kind of patrolling to ensure that no one is drunk and wandering around. This is part of what she is used to doing when parties occur.
What a party pooper.
Kitty Cat, you are just sitting at the top of a tapestry.
Yep, just kind of bouncing there. I'm going to be looking at just the crowd, anything that I notice that's
Give me
odd or
a
amiss.
perception check. Let's roll some dice in this game.
Yeah, buddy.
Why?
Perception. Yeah. I perceive 16.
16.
At least at this point, no one looks suspicious. But what you do notice, coming out of the kitchen, walking and perhaps carefully trotting to the main door, is another cat.
The fuck?
You were told that Grimkalkin is the mouser here in the palace. You do know that Grimkalkin exists. You never met her.
Her.
And she sort of stops and sits. She sort of sits down in front of the main hall door and looks up at a guard, who then opens the door, and she sort of trots her way out.
The main hall. So she's out.
She is now into this foyer.
Okay. I'm going to follow her.
How graceful are you getting down
you
that
do.
tapestry?
I mean, I have a straight climb speed, so, and it's,
I keep forgetting you have a climb speed because you're a fucking cat.
yeah, it's 50
right.
feet.
That's
you know
fine.
what you need? You know what you need? You should get like a ring of feather fall, so you just fucking leap off the top of buildings.
You wander your way up to the front door and look up at the same guard, who then looks at you kind of confused, as if, why is there more than one cat here? And then just kind of shrugs and opens the door.
Dipshit. All right, I'll wander out, and I'm gonna take a sniff and see where that piece went.
It's not what I thought you were going to use when you started with the P word.
This is a family podcast.
Would sniffing out be a perception check?
Oh, you're gay.
I get advantage on sniff checks.
I don't think that's a thing in this game.
Well, perception checks based on scent.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, then fine.
Sniff check.
You sniffed that piece.
Nat 20 sniff.
She went
Flynn knows
east.
what good piece smells
What?
like.
She went east, this direction.
As do I.
You began to wander that direction.
Hey, am I seeing anyone out here?
There are
Any latecomers?
there are 2 guards in front of the main door. There is also a guard literally walking back and forth who will eventually open up this door to let you out.
Okay.
Or let you through. So what you're wandering into is what you know as, like I said, more of servants, guard barracks, that sort of thing on that side of the palace. So we'll come back to you.
Okay.
Weird with how many cats there aren't more cat doors.
You think that'd be fucking easier, wouldn't it? At some point, you do, Cody, you do see the cellarer, Thomas.
The what?
The cellarer, Thomas.
The cellarer?
Do you not recall finding Thomas in the cellar a month ago?
Yeah, but I had to have reacted
I know.
the same way when you told me
it
a
is.
cellarer.
It's a dumb fucking name. Like Cellar Master or something else would have made more sense. But
Lord
he's
of
called
the Cask.
The cellarer. Lord of the Cask would have been funnier.
Lord of the Cassius.
Little dance maybe.
Use it. Use that instead.
Yeah.
Just use that one.
So Thomas,
Lord of Casks.
you see Thomas step
Cask
out.
Master.
Castmaster.
Even better.
You do see Thomas step out, who you recognize. Now you are in a, I guess, slightly different costume, but I think
he
he
notices the
would
big burly
probably
furry
recognize
undead
you. He would probably recognize you above anyone else because you picked him up. And he kind of looks at you and gives you a strange look and wanders over and says, "What are you doing here?"
Mind your own business.
He just sort of says,
Very cordial.
"Okay, can I at least get you a drink?"
Yes.
He walks out, walks to
Where?
the kitchen, into the kitchen.
I follow him.
You can follow him.
He really wants that drink.
I don't trust him. This guy didn't know that there was a giant
Yeah.
space in his basement. He's the cask master. How does he not know
He
that there's a giant manhole in his casks?
How'd that get there?
Wow. Crazy.
he sort of looks back and says, "All right." You walk into the kitchen. You see the master of kitchens, Bozina Minger, who is a gnome.
Bozina Minger.
She is like just spouting off all kinds of orders to other people who are chopping up meats or fruits or vegetables or whatever. They're preparing all the food that they can, frying the cod.
Better batter it first. That's prime salt realms cod there,
Doing the Salt Bay thing.
which we carried for like 3,000 miles because I remember the map. The ocean's nowhere fucking near where we are.
Yep. And she spun. It's not that. It's yeah. It is, but it isn't. It's up a river. It's not like you can't get seafood here.
Portals.
And she turns and sees him and looks up at you and says, "What's the meaning of this? This is my kitchen. What can I do for you?"
I just look at the cask master.
He says, "Your finest goblet of blood." And she walks over to a small room that has a freshly killed deer that's not yet been
Give me a
bled.
second and I'll
There you-
remember.
The woman gives you fresh blood.
That's fair. No. It was a very cool thing, and it makes me... I still don't trust the cask master, but I want to rip his insides out less, so...
Fair. He
Ghoul will-
just sort of looks up at you and says, "Will this do?"
I'm pretty sure we questioned and cleared him the last time.
Yeah, but that's not... Have you met Cyrus? I'm suspicious of everybody. I think one or two of you may be in the cult.
That's helpful.
It's the cat.
No, he very will, like, swirl it around, sniff it, you know.
It's a little more fresh than you prefer, I assume. I'm sorry, it's all we have.
Not bad for not being
And I look at him.
human.
And he just gives you a nod, as if to agree, as well as like a sigh of relief of agreement.
He clearly didn't take the subtly implied threat, so I'll walk out.
Maybe
No, he did. It's a sigh of relief nod. Like, thanks for not biting me, dude. Got your blood. Please move on.
But yes, periodically, as he wanders around, as my goblet is empty, I will simply tap it and hand it to him, so I can get periodic drafts of fresh blood.
Yeah, that's fine. And he will ask if you don't mind returning to the party. He will continually bring you, or have servants bring you, blood as needed.
I'm holding the goblet, and with the other hand, I grab him scruffily by the collar again and pull him close.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the cellar.
And he says, "Indeed."
All right, let him go.
As requested, there is now a guard on the cellar. You guys requested a guard. There's a
Narratively
guard. On the
speaking, we could put a whole goddamn contingent down there. Lucas is going to make sure that doesn't work. So we are going to get ambushed. There will be regicide. Someone will turn on somebody else in a fit of passion while in the middle of love making. It's just a classic story.
That's gonna be me here in a second.
Another man walks up to you, Troy, extends a hand, says, "Anders Frysine, I don't believe we've been introduced. I am the Chamberlain."
Pleasure to meet you.
He says, "I hear you are from another country.
Yes.
And what is your business here in Radavas?"
Setting up some trade routes for our fresh seafood.
Ah, yes, the cod. I've heard of it.
It'll be delicious.
I certainly hope so. It is to be eaten this evening, correct?
It is one of the things on the menu.
Excellent, excellent. And you are here alone?
My servant
Who
with
just
me.
He walks right back out of the kitchen at that moment.
Don't mind him though. He's a bit rough around the edges.
Yes. How do you deal with the smell?
Fishman.
He kind of laughs at the joke. Excellent, excellent, sir.
Do we have the sense that the cult is fairly known, or like people are aware?
The king seemed completely oblivious, but he also reminds me of the king from Spaceballs too. So,
Well, he was unaware that it led to the castle, but
yeah,
we're here.
The cult was known about,
Yeah.
and it's in the history books that there was a war literally 400 years ago against it, but it never was completely eradicated. It's not that the cult doesn't exist or people don't know about it. People don't talk about it because they don't want to talk about it. The same way people don't talk about the Holocaust nowadays.
Oof. There's a comparison.
If you read what I read, yeah. Like the cult was like all about sacrifice every fucking person you can to try to bring Sathagwa to Earth.
I was gonna go a little more reign of terror, but fair enough.
They attempted to, yes. The war was an attempted coup on the Earth realm through multiple, not just this city, but multiple cities. So people know what the cult is and they know about it. They don't talk about it. It's not proper, Lucas said in air quotes. So
I'll lean in and a little like quieter say, what do you take on this business of this nasty cult?
Oh.
Everybody seems hasn't quite vanished.
Yes, I've heard.
Is it bad for business?
Well, it's very bad for business. I've heard rumblings recently of perhaps these secret tunnels and sacrifices, which of course we know about. People have gone missing for years. I mean, people in this particular palace have gone missing over the years, although I'm not entirely sure that that's cult related.
Him knowing about tunnels seems suspicious, no?
Maybe.
It's
Who went
politics.
missing out of the This is probably something we got.
Should be asked though.
Yeah. It's been 6 months, so I don't remember if we got information about somebody going missing.
Month. It's been 4
It's hard to
Back
remember.
before 9/11.
It's always hard to remember when it's been a year since the last
It's been
time we
7
played.
cycles of the moon.
It's been 2015 since we played this game. I don't know.
Who's gone missing?
From what I had heard, servants. In fact, some people who, kitchen help, house help. Initially, I had heard that there were thefts within the home, within the palace. I don't know. I'm not entirely certain that it's all related to the cult. Perhaps they were simply let go and let out of the palace in the dead of night, rather than making a scene.
How long have you been Chamberlain?
Oh, now going on 15 years now, I believe.
What do you make of the current regime?
King Atrax?
Yes.
King Atrax is humble, modest, but humble, and quiet. Doesn't talk much when we do our council meetings, but he listens, and that's the most important thing.
Anyone in these council meetings that you raise an eyebrow to?
It's an interesting question. Perhaps all politicians should be raised an eyebrow to.
It's fair.
No one is perfect, but not all are also corrupt.
What a political answer.
He did it.
Now, if you are asking me if I believe that anyone in this room is part of the cult, I couldn't tell you.
Couldn't or won't.
Would I suspect anyone? Would I suspect anyone specific? Would be your next question, I imagine. I don't think I could. Perhaps it's my introvertedness. When I work, I don't really speak to anyone else. I really only speak during council meetings when necessary, and do my job. It's not my job to observe the nobles of this land.
Fair enough.
Give me a perception check real quick.
That's 19 on the die.
Nicely done. One thing you do notice as you are, focusing on him and as he's speaking, he does have a green tint to his eyes. Now, he is wearing a mask. But that's something that kind of piques your interest.
Get his ass.
He's a frog underneath.
His eyes are green?
The whites of his eyes have a green tint.
The whites of his eyes have a green tint. Okay.
Not like forest green dark.
Right.
Like they're not white.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a little bloodshot, maybe.
Gotcha.
Are you enjoying the party?
Oh, quite. I haven't been able to talk to many yet, but, still early.
Sure.
But just trying to gauge the folks' interest here of what we've come to sell.
Of course. Is there anyone in particular you're looking forward to speaking to?
See, I wrote a bunch of names, but not necessarily. Who was Mies Alezi?
Mies Alezi.
I don't know.
Metzi?
Metzi. Oh, yeah.
The Royal Arcanist. Emis Metzi. Emis Metzi. M-E-Z-E-I. That was the Royal Arcanist. Who is here?
I don't know, because you said you gave us 15 names, and I only have like a dozen, so I must have missed a few.
King Atrax, Queen Selena, Guard Captain Rayhack, Arbiter Lena Reinhardt, Lord Mayor Victor Radvaz, Chamberlain Anders Freising, Steward Sandro Buell, the Cellarer Thomas Presentries, the Royal Arcanist Emis Metzi, Chief Housekeeper Sylvie Ben-Narvova, the Master of Mice, Grim Culkin, the cat. And then other staff are Master of Kitchens, Bozina Minger, the Court Chaplain, Annalena Lanner, the Royal Musician, Jurgen Gilman, and then multiple guards and servants who are walking around.
Who was Sandra Buell? Or what was she?
Steward Buell is the steward. Sandro Buell is the steward. It's a human male. Thick, bald man. Stubble face. Probably
he's the bald one.
Probably the fattest man in the room.
Yeah.
Easy to spot. Bald head. 300 plus pounds.
Floating in the air, cackling, calling himself a baron, screaming shit like the spice
Loud
flow.
voice.
Dude.
So he did. Yeah. If there's any of those people you are interested in, he is asking if you're interested in one.
Seems terrified by mice. It's a deep cut.
Yeah, I want to talk to the bald guy.
Oh, the steward.
Yes.
Steward is an interesting man, a bit evasive. Doesn't like talking to people very long. I can send him your way if you wish, or if you'd like, I can bring you to him.
Yeah, why don't you bring me to him? That's
Certainly. Yeah. He sort of scans the room and says, there's the man now. Very easy to spot. Very boisterous, loud man. His mask isn't even really on his face, just sort of propped up. Bright green garb. Please, come with me. Thank you all for listening. The Big Sleep was written by Sandy Petersen and Jonah Baumgars. Music by Ian Shannon. You can find us online at rancorsbrothel.com or join in the conversation on Facebook at Fans of the Rancors Brothel.